what we're looking at here is a brother from Mexico. They can tell you right here. This book called in French, Indian of Mexico. Now it tells you right here in the book. So this book is coming from the Costume Civils America. This is a part that they would like to show you not. They don't want to show these, but the original Mexicans are our people, which were the children of Israel also. And they're going to tell you that they were the children of Israel. I'm going to go over to the next page. Let me see. See? Watch here. We can find out more costume. Watch here again. Original Mexicans again. Our people. Indian, Mexican, and voyage. He means he's traveling. He's moving. And that's how he looks. And voyage. What you're looking at, I show you. You can stop the image for yourself and put Indian, Mexican, and voyage. I'm gonna go over to another page and show you. Show some of the women here. Well, of course, now they're trying to whitewash them. Put the face that they got red sheets. They didn't show the people that are dark. Unless they're those light skinned ones. Watch here now. That's a Mexican brother. A Mexican police. Wearing the fringes on the garment. Indian do Mexican police. That's him right there. The Mexican police, another brother here. So what I'm gonna read, like I said, you're gonna find out these things, man. You're gonna find out these things are not true. Hmm? Coming from the book, see? Go back there to the book. Go back here. See, brother there, that's in the book again. And they're showing you here. That's what they show you. And Indian of Mexico, Jakes. Now there's a book here that put them up called The 10 Tribes of Israel. And the author's name is Timothy Jenkins. See? So all the time they put in front of these books, these people that are from China or Asiatic looking Mongolian people, they don't ever show you the images of these people, which are right here. And we're going to read here in this book, the 10 Tribes of Israel, Ancient Antiquities, on page 4, 6. It says, Hebrew scholars could it says that the Hebrew immigrant had been in America 500 years before Christ. Before Christ came to Jerusalem, they will be here. And the Chileans are, and then it says, and of course, the Mexicans are descendants of the Hebrews. It is true that the Chileans are. Judge Breckinridge, who was secretary of the legation to Mexico, told the writer that the language of the Mexicans was a very genuine language, a great many consonants and few vowels, and in that it resembled language of Tartar. The news indicate the same thing. The news is long festival in spring, the time of year they keep the Passover. Many in England, especially those of Western Pennsylvania, 70 years ago did not eat of the sinew, the shrine they made the tank and center, purify themselves, right? And it tells you here that they that these people are from the descendant of Israel. On the lost books of Moses, Joseph prophesied, and it should come to pass that they shall be scattered again, and the branch shall be broken and brought to a far country beyond the sea. Nevertheless, they shall remember in the covenant of Yah when the Messiah shall come. That is 2nd Ezra chapter 13. For it will be revealed to them in the last days in the spirit of power, that he shall bring them out of darkness into light, from hidden darkness and from captivity to eternal freedom. And a seer Yah will lift up from the fruit of my lions, who shall be a seer chosen to restore the audience of the house of Israel. To the house of Joseph, the house of Israel is being written up again. It says, therefore, the descendant of Joseph, and it says here in chapter 12 and 3, and the power of my father said unto me, Joseph, a chosen seer will arise up of the fruit of land, and he shall be highly esteemed. I will command him to do the work of the fruit of the land, for whosoever shall accept his words and be baptized, because of them he shall be numbered of the house of Ephraim, whom I separated from the brethren. Therefore, a descendant of Joseph, the brother of Manasseh, to whom shall be taken first to this place, far beyond the great waters. Taken to what? A place far beyond the great waters. And there shall be a remnant branch of the house of Jacob, and will bring you to know the covenant which I made with your fathers, and he shall perform whatsoever word I command you. Now you can find the house of Joseph in a view of a Marquee Indian on chapter 10, when they're told that so-called Jew that they're from the house of Joseph. See that? And it goes on to say now that it said, therefore, the fruit of the lands shall write a record as soon as its offspring obtain the land beyond the sea. What? The fruit of your lands, Joseph, shall write a record as soon as its offspring obtain this land beyond the sea. So we talk about the records that we speak about, sealed books and the books of Moses, and the fruit of the lands of Judah. 2 sticks shall write a record, and that which is written by the fruit of your land in the far country, and that which is written by the fruit of the lands of Judah shall grow together, each in their own nation, for the purpose of confounding false doctrine, and appeasing contention, and establishing peace between the fruit of your lands and the house of Jacob. In the last days, when these words and these 2 records are brought to the notice of their fathers, and to the knowledge of my covenant which I made with the house of Israel. And again, I will lift up the fruit of the land, and will give him power to carry my word to the seed of thy land, who were brought into this land beyond the sea, which are a remnant of the house of Manasseh and Ephraim, that is his brethren, not only to bring his brethren to the word of his father, but to the convincing of the words which shall already be declared unto them by the hand of the first seer. See? So they were brought to this land, far beyond the sea. Right, let me continue now about the Hebrews being in America. There's a book called The View of American Indians. View of American Indians, right? That's a book by Roosevelt Israel, so-called, published. See that? They all back in 1828. So this guy tells you, this man was Aaron Levi, a Portuguese Jew. He was traveling on business, came to the capital of Holland, short time before the publication made. So this book here, August, this very small book, was published in Amsterdam about Hebrews in America. So he came to a place called Paputan in Honduras, right? Honduras. And in this place, it says they came to a place, this he says, to Quito, where he hired 2 mules and other Spanish to go into the country, and took with him a guy whose name was called Francisco. The guy that he took him was Francisco. And Francisco, he proceeded Following in a conversation with the guy he found to be one of the original natives of America, Francisco, original indigenous who had much violence and injustice charged the Spanish with. He complained bitterly of their cruelty and expressed not only a hope but even a persuasion that his countrymen would one day have the satisfaction of revenge through the means of a people that were then concealed. Aaron, no, Levi, so called curiosity was such excited to know more of these people and learning from his guide. Some of them wore very long beard. You hear that? I just showed a photo of the people wearing the long beard. Wearing beard, right? Others short and right long beard, others short one, and that they observed the rites of circumcision. And his anxiety greatly increased to see him. He begged his guide accompany him to the place where they reside. This guy, Aaron, wants to see the rest of the people. His guide consented and gave him $3. And he gave him $3 to buy permission, blah blah blah. He asked him if he know who his original ancestors were. This Aaron asked him this brother Francisco, and to which Aaron replied. He asked him if he know. Aaron replied yes. His name was Abraham. So this so-called one claimed that he's them Abraham, and asked he believed in one Elohim. Francisco then found the stranger by oath and not betray him, which was San Francisco the guide, indigenous brother, right? And he heard that he would not be direct. Having traveled 2 days, the Indian made him put on canvas shoes and take a staff, blah blah. Alright, let's go over here. This change, probably they were climbing the mountain. The Indian carried him 3 measures of wheat. Okay, watch when I get to the part now. It says now, his guide said to him, here you will see your brethren, having a kind of flag with 2 pieces of cotton. He waved it backward and forward on the other side of the river. The smoke said the Indian is a sign that they knew they are here, and it happened to give other signs. 3 men and a woman came to in a little boat. Aaron did not understand. So check this out. This guy Aaron Ben Levi, he's supposed to be so-called Ish. He did not understand the language in which these people spoke, but his guide Francisco understood them, and they looked hard in his face, expressed great pleasure at seeing him, and jumped out and embraced him. They embracing the brother Francisco and kissed him. They say to Francisco, they say to him, it was explained by Francisco, Yah is our power is one. The new signs with Guy explained. They eventually knew that he was a Jew. The new signs which the guide explains. They eventually knew that he was a Jew. They say Joseph dwelt in the midst of the sea and held up 2 fingers. See that? The tribe of Joseph that I just read there in that book, how they came over, and 2 fingers, and there was families of heads of Manasseh and Ephraim, and add that there will be a day in which they shall all meet, and you will tell our brethren that you were the first that came here to us. No one has been here before you. Upon this, Aaron made a motion to get into the boat. Aaron wanted to get into the boat. In the river, struggling with him, and he fell into the water. They took him up, but refused to let him go over there. For 3 succession days, the boat continued to move across the water, bringing always 4 persons at a time, and that he supposed he saw about 300 of them. The account of this people is that their countenances were very burnt. It just shows when you want to talk to people very burnt, that's what we're talking about. See that? Very burnt. There were, he said the people of this country were very burnt by the sun, and that they were of a fine, tall, straight figure, many with beards, and their war on their head a kind of turban. They gave directions to the Indian to tell them more about them, and they took their leave, which the Jews and his guide returned to Corinth. On the day, Aaron said to his guide, Aaron, Levi, so called, said to his guide, Francisco, now since you know a good deal about these people, you must tell me all you know, for they order you to tell me. And the guide answered and said, I will tell you the truth, and if you are not satisfied with all I will tell you what you want to more. I tell you this, and no fault. What I know I learned from my ancestors, and it was handed down to them by traditions. The Almighty brought the children of Israel into this country by great signs and wonders. And if we told you all, you would think them contrary to nature. When we were came to this country, you had great battles with people and lived here because, and the visitors of whom were very many among us, advised to go to the place where these people whom you have just seen are said and made war against them. So they had tribal wars going on, but it tells you right here, right, that the Most High brought the children of Israel into this country, into America, by great signs and wonders, and they are the tribe of Joseph. Therefore, back in the book now, in the Book of Mormon, chapter 12, 5. Therefore, the fruit of the lion shall write a record as soon as the offspring obtain the land beyond the sea. And the fruit of the land of Joseph shall write a record, written by the fruit in this far country, and that which is written by the fruit of the land of Judah shall grow together in its own nation, for the purpose of confounding false doctrine, appeasing contention, and establishing peace between the fruits of the land and the house of Jacob in the last days, when the word of these records are brought to the notice of their father, and to acknowledge of my covenant, which I made with the house of Israel. And it takes you here. And again, a seer will live out of the fruit of the land, and will give him power to carry my word to the seed of your lands, who were brought into this land beyond the sea, who are a remnant of the house of Manasseh and Ephraim, that is his brethren, not only to bring their brethren to his word, but to the convincing of them of my word, who shall already be declared unto them by the hand of the first seer. See that? So, it let you know that the house of Joseph came over here. See that? But you see, therefore, a descendant of the Joseph, the brother of Manasseh, whom shall be taken first to this place far beyond the great water, there shall be a remnant branch of the house of Jacob, and he shall bring you to know the covenant which is made with your father, and is performed whatsoever word I command. That's chapter 12, verse 3 in the books of Mormon. See the books of Mormon. All these records are proof. So let me go further now. Continuing, this is a book called Jews in America, probably that the Americans are Jews, right? When they talk about American, all the indigenous people were not Hebrews, because some of them people came out to came out to Russia, Mongolia. I'm speaking about the 5 civilized nations. So the book here, Jews in America, that's the name of the book. See, they all be coming up understand the customs and the manners, but the research that they will show you, you have to go to this guy named James Mooney of the Smithsonian, worked for the Library of the Smithsonian Institution, the Federal Bureau of American Ethnology, and he was an anthropologist and a film photographer, and the people that he photographed are still in the Smithsonian Library. So we're going to go into the first, when the Montezuma encountered Cortez, as I already showed you back there, that the people, the Hebrews were here. I read it from the books that Joseph tribe came over here. The other books about the Jews, about the views of American Indians. But right here now, it says Montezuma, the great king of Mexico. in an oration made to his nobles and people, persuading the subjection to the King of Spain. The King of Spain, they asked him to persuade to subject yourself to the King of Spain. He reminded his countrymen that they heard from their forefathers how they were strangers in that land, and by a great prince very long ago brought them hither in fleet ships. Their boat, their pedigree from men preserved in by the sea and by Elohim himself. We just read that how they say they came over and the Most High preserved them, and that is documented by Aaron ben Levi, how the brother told him how they came over here boats. The Most High made one man that go into the history of Adam, one woman, binding them to live together and multiply, how in famine he rained bread for them from heaven. What? Montezuma is telling his countrymen to remember your forefathers, how the Most High rained bread for them in heaven, who in the time of the drought also gave them water out of a rock. This is Hebrew in the book of Moses. Many other things themselves say were done for them, such as the scriptures relate concerning the Israelites and their coming out of Egypt and their peregrination many years, the oracle they received, the ark. We talk about the bulrush, Moses, but they give him this name really the priest was include the tabernacle of the ark carried forth by the priest, how they pitch their tents according to the direction, and who seeth not faith, which probably that the Mexicans are Jews. How could else they report the manner of their their coming into a promised land? They affirm there is one Elohim and who has been of eternity, by whom the Father were made, who became offended with. So they always speak um, about about um, about their coming to Egypt, and the Most High giving them famine and bread from heaven in a time of drought. Give them water. This is heavy, man. I already shows you that the people are the Hebrews. I'm going right back to that footage of the brother of the costumes. So Montezuma, right here. As I showed you before, Indians of Mexico. You see? Indian of Mexico. That's what he got there, right? Indians of Mexico. Right there. Oh, that's real fool you, man. See? Indian of Mexico. And the book, right here, can show you. Right there. The Indians of Mexico. It appears to move. I don't know what's wrong. But this is the book. This is where this comes from. Let me go back here to the old American Indians. See? A view of American Indians. The brother told them. The guy answered, I tell you the truth. If you were not satisfied, I tell you what I know. I will tell you what I know from my ancestors. It was handed down to them by tradition. The Almighty brought the children of Israel into this country by great miracles and wonders and works. That's backing up with 2nd Ezra chapter 13. That they lead the multitude of the heathen and went into other lands. So this guy Aaron ben Levi, he was an Ish, and he heard about the customs and manners of these brothers in Honduras, and he came to check them out. See that? And he said the people and the continent were burnt by the sun. He wanted to see the dark. They were fine, straight figures, men of them with beards. I can show you right back there again. Brothers wearing beards. That's it there. These are the tribe of Joseph, Ephraim and Manasseh, man, that came over here to America. See? So that is on point, backing up the scriptures of Cedar Mormon. That's where they get all these records from, and they compile them off the plates and try to make it of a religion. See? That's what it tells you that this guy says. He found a relic. And it goes on here to say again. The language of the Mexicans was very much drinking language, and its consonants and few words in that it resembled the language of the Tartars. See that? He says the Mexicans are very well jingle language, which is of Hebrew. Huh? So it goes on here, not only that, even the word when he come, it says here, the name which was Ohipo, which means little Ohio. So Ohio is really Yahweh without the vowels. See? They call it Yahweh, Ohio. Ohio and Iowa is Yahweh, and Ohio is also Yahweh. And this is the book with the guy that he found a relic. So he found a relic. You can pause that and read it. Right, so that there is that. Let me continue now. This is a book written in Germany. It's also in English. It costs $58,000. It's called America, or More Accurate Description. And what you're looking at is Mexico, Mexicans. I'm not sure what he got here in the book. Mexican Norum, German for Mexican. Just look at those people. You see, they got off into worshiping Pan. See, goat, the demon, Moloch. That's why they fell the people. The Mosai took them down. Here the brother got feathers, you see. I don't see no folks here with no long hair. I'm just showing you that the tribes are here. We are here, and this is the actual painting that they saw when they came over. This is what they saw when they came, they saw, and they conquered. See? You can blow the screamer if you want to, but look at the people, the royal subjects, the Lord. Look at them coming off of the line, and this is probably inside one of the temples that they worship, whatever, but it is Mexican, and it shows you. They even print this book, and it's out there in German. That's what Hitler knows, man. These are the Mexican people, the little Negroid to me. These things are hidden from you, the people. Look at them. Look at them. And pause that, right? Here are the people, man. So when the brother talked about the tribe of Joseph coming over to America and being in the land of Mexicans speak Hebrew, that's all the people that we're looking at. We'll pause this again and we can move on. There's a difference now. It's in Brazil. You see these wars. And these are the white savage tribes that were, some of them, I think they were giants also. They were into cannibalism. See that? And they're chasing the brothers, man. These are them here hunting them down. Look at the bones all over the place. This here. But this is who they like to portray as the original people of the land. But these are the jakes that we told you about. That came over, like living here, way before. All these people, some of these white, so-called looking white people, were descendants from the natural giants. It tells you that they had war against them. And these were might. These are how big that joker is. They ain't got no clothes on. Just eating humans up. See? So there's a photo of them showing the difference. But they like to show that white image. If you look here, you'll see them dancing in a circle. This is in Brazil. See, all of America from north to the south of Brazil, the brother have his peace spike. And look at the complexion of these people. They dance in the circle dance, man. One guy on top of a box. One thing we like doing is dancing. That's what they're doing. Until the squatters came over and took over the place. So this is part of history they want to show. This book, like I say, is a $58,000 book. It's one I'm reading from is in German. The German ones have a lot of photos that they have in the elite. But the one in America and it's in Smithsonian Library. But you take they put a book cost that price, you gotta pay a whole lot of money to find this truth. But one thing that they made a mistake is by hiding the truth when they put it on PDF. Because we never would have seen this in history. All of our ancestors were not allowed to read. Never would they see these books or understand. That's where they get the drop on us and they lie to us because we are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. They say knowledge is power, and the more the secrets, the more the control. So let us move on for some more.